Well, we got the KW in the shop today. I guess you might be able to hear it. Get you over here a little closer. It's air leaking pretty quickly. I looked it over last week. I was trying to figure out what was going on with it, and it appears it's coming out from either in the shift valve on the side of the transmission, or I don't think it's a line. So what I've done, and I don't know if I did it right, but I ordered a new shift valve. Now this is the part that goes on the side of the transmission. This is supposed to be, I think, this might work on the 13 speed as well, I don't know. But it's got ports for high, low, and low, and these are the shift ports, I believe. So depending on your selector in the cab, it's going to tell this valve what to do. This valve controls airflow to the pistons on the transmission. It also takes takes pressure in, it puts it where it needs to go depending on where your little lever button is on your shift valve. So anyway, that's the plan for today, is to pull that apart. I need to go ahead and bleed it down, get the air out of it. It's bleeding pretty fast. Okay, so I'm gonna grab me a few tools here. Like a 5/8, maybe down to a 3/8. Okay, I'm sure I'm gonna make several trips in and out from under the truck and get some deep sockets and a ratchet. And then we'll crawl under here and see what else I need. Well, but it's nice to have a shop to work in on a day like today. I have to crawl around under the truck in the mud. And it's really nice and greasy down here. This might not actually be that bad. Yeah, it might not be that bad. Camera's in my way, I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got to put the camera somewhere where, I don't know, maybe on the transmission itself, I guess. Okay, so I was kind of looking to see what we got here. We've got a shift line here. We've got a T on the bottom. We got, this goes up to the shifter, and this one on the back, that's also a shift line. Okay, so I was wrong on that one. That's not the supply. So, supply line is, which one is it? I think our supply line is this one right here. So this supplies, I don't know for sure. We'll figure it out. I need to tidy that up too. That's the old, this is the old speedometer cable, which when I changed this transmission, I went from a mechanical cable to this one has a electric sender, and I never have changed it. I was thinking for a long time I'd probably just go ahead and put an electric, this is the part where they either break or they come out. I might just put an electric speedometer in it instead of changing over to the messing with the transmission. But them things are expensive. I use a Garmin. It'll tell me how fast I'm going. I've drove this truck long enough, I know about where it's at without looking. I'm thinking we're just going to cut that off and get it out from under the truck where we can actually work on it. So, I got to remember which one goes where though. Well, my cutters aren't working very good. Okay, so that one, you can see somebody's already put how am I going to remember which one goes where? Oh, well. There's a red one on this side that goes with that black one, and then these other two. Yeah, we're just going to cut these off. There's a black one. That ought to be easy to figure out, and then there's another red one up here. So, worst case, I get the two red ones mixed up. Now these other pipes, I think I can maybe unbolt the valve off of the transmission and then drop it down here where I can reach it better. That's a 7/16. Kind of greasy looking, isn't it? A little greasy. Hey. I figure I better fix this. My air pressure has not been staying up, so my air compressor's been working harder. Air compressor works harder. It's not good because you got more moisture in the system. And it just snowballs into more trouble down the road. Plus, it ain't really legal to run around with no air pressure. Or a bad leak, I guess I should say. I've got air pressure, just it wouldn't pass a pre-trip, would it? I need to be working on the big Cam Cummins. I need to get it ready to go to replace the engine that's in this truck before I'm on the foot. I should have brought that fancy dancy ratchet I got, but I forgot to do that. Only 4 bolts here, so it shouldn't kill me. When I first bought this truck, the pin the lockout pin I was talking about was broke. So anytime you'd shift it, if you pre-selected from high to low range or low to high range before you shifted to neutral, it would just shift. I mean, boy, it is not good for a transmission. So I remedied that pretty quickly. I bought that pin, put it in there. It's worked pretty good ever since until this happened. So now it should just fall off in my hand and, well, stupid. There she is. She's kind of loose, except there's a big clamp there holding all them lines together. So, how's the best way to get this off of here? This is the plunger I'm talking about for neutral. But it does look like I got the right valve, at least. And they did not make this easy for me to take apart. Freaking dirt falling in my face. Okay. I don't know that those are swivels. That's the problem. Why wouldn't they put swivel hoses on there? So that means I got to take off this clamp. I can't tell if it's a 5/8. I think it's a 5/8, maybe. Is it or is it not? Well, that's a 9/16. Yeah, I've got dirt in my ears. So much fun. I've been dreading this. Not that it's a big job, it's just, I just knew I'd be covered in dirt. I need to wash under my truck someday. Maybe when I get the engine out of it. Clean her up a little bit. Camera covered in dirt. So this one here goes to this side of that piston. This is your supply air from the truck down to this is the regulator filter. And it supplies the air to your shift valve and your transmission pistons. I've never really understood exactly how these things work. Well, hello, doggy. You're coming over here to cuddle, aren't you? That might be a quick connect on that one. I believe it is. Yeah, we pull that, you push that down and it disconnects. That's one of the shifter lines there. Now, one more line to unhook here. I'm betting it's going to be a fun one. I'm going to have to get a bigger wrench. On that side, what the heck? Half inch on this side. So I got this set up to where you could switch all three of them hoses into the wrong places. That's a pretty sweet deal right there. Oh my gosh. That's probably where he messed up. I'm pretty sure that one went here. So I'm gonna put an M on it. Because it's in the middle. And this one, I should remember it because it's got, well, might not. some new hoses. But hey, they're still working, right? Alright, we got her back together. See what we got. We're in deep reduction now. You can hear it shift. Uh-oh. Something ain't right. Can't get it to shift because I got something wrong on it. Oh well, I gotta figure that out now. I hear air leaking. It's a pretty good indication I did something wrong. What did I do? The air leak is not any better, that's for sure. We could have a we're still getting I think I've got all the lines hooked up. Huh. I don't know what is going on here. Okay, so I'm an idiot. I think what's happening it shifts, but you hear that air that's blowing by there is actually causing the leak. So either way this piston goes, it'll leak past it. So in low range, I think it's this front one pushes the piston back. It's allowing, the O-ring's bad in here, so it's allowing the air to go back to exhaust. So my problem was not actually in the control valve, but rather the piston itself. I believe there's no ring on there. I think I've had this problem with I had to change one of these on my 10-speed back when I was running it, and if I remember right, it's not super complicated to fix. It's just a matter of getting under your truck and fix it. If there's another bolt on that or not. So I don't know why I didn't think to check this first, but I didn't. But here we are. Nice thing about these is they've got them made to where you can actually work on them. I say that. So we probably got to pull that off and try to pull that piston out of there, or blow it out with some air pressure. Tell you what, I probably should go ahead and put it to the back before. So I just goofed off, spent a couple hours fixing something that didn't need fixed. That piston almost looks like it's got a crack in it. That ain't good. So we'll use a little air pressure and pull that piston to the, push the piston to the back. Piston's cracked. Sure is. Huh. I didn't expect that. I'm assuming my 9-speed I got laying out here may have one in it. I don't know. Okay, so a quick little trip out to the other transmission. I popped the cover off. It's got the exact same piston. That was a 9-speed. I think that's a what is that? A 1609 or something. It's a heavy transmission, or a better 9-speed. Anyway, I put the better of the two O-rings on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and order one of these. They're pretty common. Looks like you can buy them online. 25 bucks with seals. So I don't know why it broke. I do know that this air leak is puzzling, and I think I've got it figured out now. So that's kind of nice, or will be. Anyway, let's put this back together. Okay, sorry for the delay there. I got this gasket scraper from a guy. I can't remember his first name, dang it. He's got a YouTube channel called Burning Dinosaurs. He sent me this thing. It's amazing. I don't know if he got it off of eBay or where he got it, but boy, this thing has been the best gasket scraper I've ever owned. I think about him every time he is like, man, that was awful nice of him to send me that. It's I used it rebuilding the TD8 engine and the transmission, and I've done various other jobs with it, and it's still just as sharp as when I first got it. And what's kind of neat, when you got a tough gasket, you can turn it over and use the serrated side. You gotta be careful with it though, it'll cut aluminum pretty easy. So there's my commercial for tools today, I guess. I have to move you back over here. You guys don't have that second piston there, and then you also don't have this thing that comes apart. I'm gonna have to get new gaskets for that, redo it all at some point. But to make this easier installing this, which I think it's going to be kind of a mess if I don't do this, I made me some headless bolts. And that'll kind of keep things straight. I'll put this over here maybe. That'll keep that from, I won't have to fight with it so much. And then after I get all my pieces in there, I can just take them out. So it's a good possibility there's some dirt in there, but hope I didn't crack that one. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but when you buy a tube RTV and it plugs up, this is what I do, and it gets a lot more life out of the tube, eliminates a lot of the frustration. I just poke a hole in the side of it, and then I just use my finger and smear it around. And then when it heals up, I just poke a hole up a little bit further. You can see I went all the way down this side doing the same thing, but I just hate, stuff's expensive and I don't use it every day, so wasteful. I think they do it that way on purpose too, so you'll buy more. They can sell twice the product if it never gets used. I mean, it's probably a little bit thick. You gotta be careful. There's an airport, yeah, where airplanes go. There's a port for air right there, and I don't want to plug it up. I'm gonna wipe some of that off there actually. I still don't quite understand how this piston works, because it actually has air pressure on one side of it all the time. I think it's the front side, and it pushes it back, and then when you switch to deep reduction, it puts air pressure on the back side and it pushes it forward. But I'm not sure why they did it that way. Probably so it doesn't shift really hard, because when that shifts, it's shifting, you know, there's a lot of force on this range shifter, but this other one not so much. Another thing on this is there's two O-rings on here, because this the regulator valve actually supplies air to this piston through those O-rings, and that top port up there, that's what shifts. Goes through the airport. I got me some new DeWalt tools a while back. I was switching over to Milwaukee, and I got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then I decided, how about I just have them both? So I got me a impact and drill gun and screw gun, impact driver. They're all right. Nothing wrong with DeWalt. They're about the same deal as Milwaukee's. Whoops. This one might put out more power than Milwaukee. I don't know. I'm gonna have to switch it in low gear when I do these little ones. These little screws. So, like I say, this supplies air. So you kind of got to be careful with them O-rings. And yeah, I should have cleaned it all up. Should have all this stuff spotless. But you know what? I bet it'll work. Kind of need to get it running today so I can use it tomorrow. Sometimes you just don't have the luxuries of a full weekend. I should have worked on this on the weekend. That would have been a lot better deal. But oh, that's turning so hard. I hope it ain't cross-threaded. Oh, that's really slow. Ooh, easy. Kind of went from nothing to everything. Okay, so now hook these back up. And put the valve back on the side of the transmission. It might work now. Okay, I think I got her working now. I got, let her build up some more air pressure here. Should kick off. Low range, high range, deep reduction, regular. Yep, I think we're working. Let's see if we hear a leak. I've always had a little leak in my shifter handle. That probably needs an O-ring. But you can see my air pressure is not dropping nearly as fast as it was. Yeah, we're back in business. I think I'm gonna pull her out of the barn and clean my mess up. You kind of gotta get dirty once in a while. It's actually not bad for you to get dirty. It's good for you. That's what I hear.